huge area that, as Africans, we aren't discussing in conservation is, of course, our marine protected areas, or even if they're not protected areas, our marine ecosystems. And that is an area, but both to this answer to this question in terms of ethnomedicine and what the ability of nature within the marine environment to provide things that are beneficial to mankind. I mean, in terms of not just our contiguous zones, our economic zones next door to our territorial waters, but even up to the areas of beyond national jurisdiction, we need to be at the conversations about that. There's currently, the world's split up into major big jurisdictions, marine jurisdictions outside territorial waters. And the one that particularly impacts us guys on the East Coast here is the South Indian Ocean Fisheries Agreement. And Kenya's just got ratified this year to join it. And I wonder what we're going to do in that space, because our marine ecosystems are incredible, and we're actually just barely touching the surface, to mix metaphors, on what we could be doing and how we could be protecting them, and also how we could be getting them to Richard's point, into PSs and other things like that. So I think that's something we're really way behind on. And most of the conversations are being done by the big fishing countries like the Chinese and so forth. And I think those are things we need to really elbow our way onto the table on. That was just an aside. I don't know how I got that in there, but I had to say it.
It's a very important point. Most of Africa, the marine protected areas within the jurisdiction of Africa and African countries far exceed the land mass of Africa, and yet we never talk about them.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's an incredible statistic. Again, I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about value, but the potential value of the blue economy, if properly managed, is ginormous in terms of uplifting people's lives, and clearly can be operated in a very sustainable manner, as has been proven in other parts of the world. So, yeah, I mean, Chris, I think, is making an enormous point here, which is there's a significant part of the sort of conservation environment of Africa that we never even talk about, and it's of incredible potential value for the continent.